So I'm Mike Anderson, this is Rebecca. We're with the Hawthorne Gardening Company. We're going to talk to you a little bit about how to build one of these facilities and some of the pitfalls that you might run into. Okay, so there's really two phases to this that we want to talk to you about. One's the building itself and the construction. We'll go into that a little bit more. And then the separate part of it is taking a look at your equipment and all the equipment that has to go into the grow. As I said earlier, Rebecca and her team have designed over 3,000 growing facilities so far this year. So we're experts at it, and we're here to help you. So we'll go a little bit further. So with the building itself, you want to take a look at where you're going to build it. You want to make sure that you have the proper utilities that can serve that building. And then you want to take a look at how you build this facility to be successful, and not only for now, but if you want to expand, you got to be able to do that as well. On the equipment side, you know, that's where we come in. We provide all the equipment that you could use to start your grow, from water purification all the way to the finished product. So lighting, benching, irrigation systems, disease and pest control, anything that you run into, we're really a partner with you through the build-out process. So a couple things to consider, and Google doesn't like PowerPoint, so we have two number ones here. So the first thing I want to talk about, and this is really true, and I've been in growing facilities that literally are 1 million square feet down to 5,000 square feet or less, okay? One thing always resonates with everyone is if you want to grow low quality plants, it's not going to pay your bills. Okay, if you want to be Budweiser in this industry, you have to have a lot of money. And I was really encouraged to hear everything everybody was saying earlier on the political side, that they made it really a great law for everybody to participate in these grows. So keep that in mind. And right now, you may or may not know, but the price per pound is so low in California, they got excess product, and so that puts a pinch on all the growers, right? But I can tell you this, if you grow really good stuff, you can compete, without a doubt. You're absolutely right. So if you want to, you know, improve your craft and grow really good stuff, you can always make money in this industry. So let's talk about, you know, the planning for it. Number one, you got to look at where you're going to put your location if you're building a growing facility. In New York, they have a lot of rebates. We'll have somebody talking to you about that later on to help subsidize the cost of the equipment that you need to buy. So the utilities, you might want to take a look at where the utility rebates are the best. Put your facility there to reduce your cost of building the facility. And you also might want to take a look at, again, the laws have not been written yet, but where you're allowed to put a facility. You know, you've got to look at all that stuff. You might have the perfect building in mind, but you need to consider that as well. In terms of timing, right now on a lot of the equipment that we put in these grows, there's 22-week lead times. Okay, so you need to start planning early. Okay, typically when you get a license, they'll say, we want you to have plants in dirt by this date. And so you have to think about the timing of what's going on and prepare for that. You can build a new building or you can retrofit an existing building. I've been in both. I've been in brand new greenhouses. I've been in retrofit greenhouses. Retrofitting an existing building is always harder. Okay, just to tell you, that's always harder. There's always a compromise in that. So keep that in mind. I would always encourage you to build a new facility if you can, because it's built to grow. It's not meant to be anything other than that. Financing is always tough. Okay, so you have to plan for that, and we can help you. Once we know how big your grow is going to be, we can give you an estimated cost for all your equipment. You can go to your investors if you choose so to have investors. You can go to them and say, this is how much money I need to do it right. So that's something you need to think about. The electrical supply is one of the things that will stop you dead. You think everybody has electricity. Hey, it's New York, everybody's got electricity. Well, I'll tell you what, they don't have the kind of electricity you're gonna need for a grow. So you have to talk to the utility about it beforehand, before you pick a site, because they might say, well, yeah, we can get you more electricity, but it might be 3 months, 6 months, or never. Okay, so keep that in mind as well. And the last thing I want to talk to you about is the growers themselves. I always say that if I cook for my wife, I can make her reasonably happy. But if I had to cook for my daughter's wedding, everybody would be upset, okay? So what I mean by that is if you're a grower and you're used to working your craft in a couple of plants or 10 or 20 plants, and you try to go to 2,000 plants, you need help, okay? It's not as easy as you think. We're here to help you with that. So in terms of budgeting for your build out, just to give you a ballpark, it's about $150 to $260 a square foot, depending on the type of equipment you want to put in there. That's not the cost of the building, that's just the equipment to go in it, okay? Now you can go lower cost on the equipment and have higher production costs, and you can plan for that if you choose, or you can spend more money on equipment up front that's more efficient to reduce your production costs in the future. Again, it's up to you what you want to do, but we can help you with that, and we actually have the tool here. So if you come see us upstairs, we'll be up there later. We can actually walk you through the computer and tell you what your estimated costs will be. But in general terms, a 5,000 square foot facility will require about $750,000 to $1.3 million in CapEx. That's the equipment to put in there to grow. So it's a large investment. Okay. As I said, we're here to help. We'll walk you through it. We've done this many, many times before. And we not only help you with that, but Rebecca will talk about some other things that we can do to really improve your facility.
Great. Thank you, Mike. So it all starts with great design. That's a phrase that we talk about quite a bit in our department, and we come from tech services. So I like to call us sort of the geek squad of Hawthorne. We provide free services. We work with the sales force, but we provide free services to our customers, whether it's Mike's team going out on site as a field engineer, or whether it's my team on the design side. So why am I so happy? Any ideas? Anyone want to guess why I'm jumping for joy? What's that? No, I'm not high, not in this case. But I am jumping for joy because we have a fixture giveaway today. That's right. So I really hope you stop by, put your business card, and if you don't have a business card, just write your name down. We have some paper over there. We brought a bunch of fixtures so that we could show you in person what they look like and talk to you about the technology, but we don't want to take them home. And so please put your name in. We're going to have a drawing later today. I'm also happy because I work for a company that manufactures and distributes over 60 brands. 60 brands from start to finish. Everything you can imagine in the cultivation space except for the plants. And that makes me happy because what it means is I get to integrate everything together. I get to look at all the parts and pieces and figure out what would be the ideal situation of equipment for your specific constraints and operations. So again, it all starts with design, and someone very awesome told this to me once, and it was Mike. Okay, so we come from tech services. We help our company with free help. We help our customers with free help, and we love what we do. But I couldn't do it alone. So this is my team. My team is a group of engineers. We're mechanical engineers and energy systems engineers. Myself, I'm a chemical engineer, but later got a PhD in plant biology. And what we do is we look at the entire system. So we really work to finding ways to optimize it. And what do I mean by optimize? And why is it important to look at the whole system? Well, take a look at this infographic. You'll notice that there's arrows going which way and that. And that's meant to indicate some of the dependencies of these different categories. So we have products, we have many different benching products, racking products, lighting products, all types of legacy lighting, LED lighting, different form factors, and so on. We have HVAC, we have irrigation, fertigation, fans. We also do water filtration. But these dependencies are really important to take into account when you're talking about cultivation design. What do you notice in terms of the arrows? Like, where do they kind of all end up? Where do you see there? That's right. It really comes to HVAC, right? Well, guess what we like to tell people to look into investing in first? It's your HVAC. It's perhaps the most expensive part of your grow, and it's maybe the most critical to get right. If you don't get that right, you're gonna be in big trouble later on. But HVAC is dependent on how much you water your plants, and that's dependent on how much plants you have. What are the rules and regulations where you live? That's dependent on the benching and the racking and the ceiling height and the types of lights that you have. All of these things interconnect. So what my team does is we look at all of these parts and pieces, and we look at the cultivation space, and we're building up calculators to help optimize it so we can help you guys get the most out of what you order and the most out of your operation. We talk to growers every day. We learn about their cultivation practices. And so between me and my engineering group of design engineers, we know a lot, we see a lot, we hear a lot. It's an awesome job. You can see why I was jumping for joy. So just as an example, on the photometric side, it's really important that you get your photometric light layouts done correctly. You're gonna wanna make sure that those photometric maps are looking at where your plant heights are gonna be. So for every room that we do photometric mapping, we take a look at, for the developmental stage of those plants, we wanna make sure that there's 2 heights that we're taking a look at, that those heights are actually where we're most focused in terms of the canopy. And we want to make sure we're not wasting light in those aisles and walls. We also look at uniformity. In nature, when part of a plant grows a little bit taller than another part of the plant, it's getting the exact same amount of light. It's not that much closer to the sun, right? But in a grow room, part of the plant gets a little more light, or doesn't have a uniform light with artificial lighting, or gets a little bit taller for one reason or another, it's gonna confuse the hell out of that plant, okay? So it's really important that we look at uniformity. So we're one of the few companies in our lighting photometrics where we really care about not just the light level, but the uniformity at those plant heights. So with me, I've got a lot of examples that I'm happy to share with you. We also have our calculator for estimations that we can run. And then let's not forget, we have a fixture giveaway. So please come talk to us. We've got a table downstairs. We also will be upstairs with a table, and I'll have that's where I'll be with my computer. So please come stop by. We're happy to run some calculations for you and your unique constraints and situation, and happy to show you some examples of projects that we've done. We call it Hawthorne 360. And like I said, it's exciting because we have this unique ability to do this because we understand and we know and we manufacture many of the products that we sell. I should also mention that we have a lot of our local sales force here. They are some of the most technologically advanced salespeople I've ever met. Every one of them has had their own grow or worked in a large commercial grow facility. They know what they're doing. So please come talk to them, and they're around. So with that, just like Mike said, how can we help you? So please come talk to us.
Okay.